Salute, salute, salute. Where's? It's the Damu Kiwe conversations. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that like button when y'all come in. Let's get it cracking. Instagram, salute, salute. Facebook, salute, salute. If you on IG, make sure you run over. Stomp down, what up? Run up over to YouTube or go to Twitch at Active Chucks. We are live right now. You want to see the content? We keep the content. That's a fact. So I pinned this for y'all in case you can't remember. You know what I'm saying? Bam. What's up, though? Salute to everybody that's already here, man. We got the content. Y'all already know what it do. Oh, man, welcome to the Damu and Kiwe conversations. Hit that like button and share. Welcome to Damu Kiwe conversations. Hit that like button and share. Hey, yo, I'm really on my bullshit right now, so we finna go ahead and jump into this song. Deuce Sims, Joe Moses, different beat mix. We gonna wait till y'all get these likes up before we get into the content. I gotta get Yael in here anyway. The Kiwe Pop Store. I didn't send a link. My bad. Y'all can't blame him. It's my fault. Hit that like button. It's not even what I'm on. Let's do Sims Design. Let's go. Sire, Joe Moses, Fat Rob, different beat mix. That's all you gotta type in on YouTube. But hit that like button, man. It ain't even a fourth yet, and y'all barbecuing pork. Hey, listen, we finna fry the pork monster. Hey, hit that like button, man. Y'all know we on bullshit hashtag ETE. And it's not just expose the exposers. It's edified through entertainment, man. This is what we doing. Edifying through entertainment. Reality. He didn't want to listen to me. He went down there in his Nike Cortez that light up on the back, called me from ICE. I told him it's crazy, scary, spooky, hilarious. DB. Dan Trek, salute to the homie Deuce, double hump. Salute, you already know what it do, Five. You know what I'm saying? Dollar Man, I'm on time today. Let's go, boys. Hey, man, salute. Y'all hit that like button. Beautiful black lady. Beautiful lady. Beautiful lady. How you doing? Carolina Connect TV. Deuce M's the Dime. What up? Salute to the Blue Wrench Mob. Salute to the Blue Wrench Mob, man. Sherm, salute. Mike B. You know what I'm saying, everybody? Papa Dirt's in the building. Salute my Damu Kiwe conversation family. We really appreciate it. We need that like button to get this in the algorithm. This is part one, right? This is part one. Kid the Barber, that hook go hard. A nigga could knock something down to this song. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of music I make, man. It's classic, timeless. Speaking of timeless music, Big Gov 313. The D is in the building. Shout out to the D. Detroit niggas. Real grimy niggas. Pork butt and CS2 pork back on the grill. Lil Ace 006. Salute to you, man. That's a fact. But look, y'all know we shadow banned. So we really need Deuce. Can you finally see my face? Let me see. Yeah, I can see it. You know what I'm saying? Nice, beautiful queen. I can appreciate a beautiful face like that. You know what I'm saying? You know. Ragged Milan, Chris Brown on bail. Okay, we got to check that out. I'm glad you would do a follow-up if that's correct, brother. I got to do the research. If you got the work at Active Chucks at Gmail, Active Chucks on IG. Brian Dow, salute. Welcome back, man. Welcome back. Hit that like button. Y'all already know what's going. Frying or barbecue pork tonight. Which is it? Hashtag cook pork butt. Jet Life Weezy, salute, man. Binky Mac, what up? Duke Sims, y'all active shut. Yeah, salute. Nah, Deuce, they not the exposures no more. They the double Dutch boys. The double Dutch boys. Damn, that's nasty work. Big T, salute. Big Deuce in the chat. I'm staying active in my biscuits. He got on the Stacy biscuits. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, it still symbolized that West Coast. You know what I'm saying? There's different ways to get G'd up. You know, I just think it's really identifiable with our culture when you talk about them active chucks. Now, on some G shit, nigga got the Stacy biscuits on. Yeah, West Coast, man. Salute to the West Coast. California, LA, real gang shit, gangland shit. That niggas was really on that. G homies get G'd up on you quick. OH10, Ohio in the building. Salute to Ohio, man. I see y'all coming in slow. Big T, Scandalous Los Angeles too quick for Reggie Wright. Hey, listen, bro. Listen, I told y'all niggas, hit the like button, man. I told y'all niggas that nigga Reggie declared war and we went up. Now, it's been some negotiations. We trying to get them strikes. I'm still got my strikes. You know what I'm saying? Scandalous Scandalous didn't do nothing. He used Discretion TV. Shout out to Discretion TV, man, for they long grind. We just hitting the scene into that sector. You know what I'm saying? Because we Tupac fans, but they been Discretion TV been doing his thuggism. He's done a lot of research. You know what I'm saying? He's making his living up off of it. Salute to that brother. But Reggie said he wanted to do it. I told him, I said, Reggie, we got this. The broad, man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you keep popping this shit and you striking our channel. Hold on 1 second. Let's get our people up in here, man. Hold on. So, shout out to TD. Fuck the union. Shout out my nigga Most Scandalous Los Angeles TV. I hope y'all all subscribe to that brother. You know what I'm saying? But he sent shit to Scandalous Los Angeles TV. You know what I'm saying? Salute. Shout out Discretion TV. Valentino. Bo Monty, what's up, baby? J-Boy TV. Salute to the live. We outside. What up, though? Hey, listen, man. Ballin' Hills. You know what I'm saying? Ballin' Hills, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but look. We got the content. Y'all ain't hit this like button yet. Y'all playing. Hey, we do got the poll up. Everybody get active in that poll. I see y'all voting. Does this new eyewitness mean pork butt gets arrested? 64% of y'all who've already voted believe that pork butt will be arrested because of this lady's, the evidence she getting. Oh, it's deep. Hold on, but you got 2% saying David Kenner is going to be the one get arrested. I think pork butt is the fall guy. David Kenner might still get arrested, but he's in with the people, the Jimmy Iovines. You know, they real powerful, man. You know what I'm saying? They real powerful. But I told y'all that Scandalous had the video and they wouldn't let them monetize. So please go make sure y'all put your notifications on for Scandalous. But make sure that you go to Active Chuck's Patreon. Make sure you're a member for part 2 and part 3. We releasing them exclusively. Let's support us for doing our investigative research. How about that? Sounds like a novel concept to me. We trying to step our game up. Scandalous Los Angeles put together what is an intro into something that an eyewitness who directly story directly contrasts that of Reggie Wright Jr., the Orca. See, the Orca been saying a whole lot on the internet for 20 years, nigga. My nigga Scandalous Los Angeles TV been paying close attention. Oh yeah, hit that like button. Oh, we finna fry pork butt tonight. Bird, what up? We got the content, kid. The barber, you been here long enough to know when a nigga say we got the content, nigga, we got the content, right? So I had the privilege of tracking down this person, doing investigative research. Oh, and we can't give up who this person is, but believe you me, it's documented. You understand what I'm saying? This ain't just something new, somebody trying to clout chase. This is somebody who was a death row employee who says that Pork Butt got fired. Fired. Right? Then came and picked up his last check. Let me see if I got the date on that. Let me see if I got the date that Pork Butt got fired and picked up his shit. Yeah, hit that like button. We cooking over here, man. We is cooking. The least y'all can do is that. Deuce, I saw CS2 back. I saw CS2 talking slick with subs referring to you. Banana and the lips in belly. I ain't like that shit. Banana on the lips and belly. Oh, yeah. Hey, let me introduce you guys to someone. The Kiwe pop star, everybody. The Kiwe.
Man, salute, and salute. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. Y'all sitting with Deuce M's, the Don, and y'all L, the Kiwe pop star. Y'all already know what it is, man. One of the hottest podcasts is on YouTube right now. If we on Clubhouse, we on there too, man. Are we on Clubhouse?
No, not right now, brother.
Oh shit, we straight to the point. Let's get it straight to it, straight like that. Man, y'all see the title? Death Row Employee Fingers Reggie Veggie Right. Pork butt, come get it. Junior and murders. Unaliving, should I say. Man, y'all know what it is, man. Salute to the chat. You already know that's where it's at. Salute to the Blue Wrench Mob for sure on that job. But if you're a friend that tapped in for the first time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this content. Y'all see what it is. Y'all sitting with Deuce M's the Don and y'all L the Kiwe pop star, bringing y'all the receipts and the authentic voices of the culture and the West Coast. Damu Kiwe. Conversations.
Shout out Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Salute. So, yeah, I was telling them they need to hit this like button, right? Because
Nah, Deuce, you're not finna get away with what you just said you was telling. You said you was telling.
It's 20.
That's why you in witness protection.
It's 2025. Meet the new Eminem. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Wait, let me put it in a better state. I pronounced to the world.
Okay.
That we had already interviewed this lady who was a death row employee. I told the world. I told Yael.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
Yes, he did.
I interviewed the lady. She's pointing the finger at the dirty, crooked cops on a lot of shit.
But dudes, she's not just pointing the finger. She's not just pointing the finger at anybody. She's pointing it at a dirty, degenerate, pork butt cop. That's what she's doing. I don't care what none of you goofballs say. I don't care what no wannabe gangster CB4. This ain't nothing we ain't seen before type of nigga. Listen, that woman is pointing the finger at a dirty, disgusting, fat, grease sweating, pork shoulder, snout having, wee, ratatouille ratting, pork butt. Come and get it.
137. Hey, hashtag pork butt 137. Hey, wait, how do you say it? Say the whole thing so we could add that with the 137.
You talking about the names or just pork butt? Come
No,
get it.
that one. Let's hear.
Pork butt. Come and get it. We. Hey, he ain't said we. He said we. Reggie. That's what that means.
And don't forget, this is CS2 Back's handler. This is the nigga that brought him to death row. His big homie, nigga.
I told everybody. I call Cash Big Everett Jones. That's my friend. That's my friend. He's not my best friend, but Reggie say he's my friend. He's not my best friend, but he's my friend. So I told y'all, you know what Reggie say, you my friend. You my friend to the end. I'm about to tell on you, but you gonna be my friend. He your friend, all right.
They said Reggie is going to tell on everyone he knows to get out of this. I don't think he's going to get out. I think it was designed for him to take the fall. It's all catching up to old pork, but yeah. Man, listen, G Wiz, the lady was so scared. Let me tell y'all some exclusive shit. So we got the content.
Uh-oh.
So this lady, what she's saying is in total contrast to everything Reggie done changed his story 100 times. He lied so much. He didn't change his story 100 times. Very inconsistent, right? He just lies. You know what I'm saying? He deflects. He muddied the investigation from the day Tupac was unalive. His dad sent Lad and the gang unit from Compton to Vegas to help muddy the investigation. Hit the like button, man. So he says that it was some gang violence, hood versus hood, gang violence. Oh, hell, Dukes, you used the tell him term. Brian, listen, man. I told y'all. Not told y'all of a crime. I proclaimed to the world that we had this interview. I said Scandalous should be dropping the video. In fact, we came with the prelude to part one. You ain't gotta believe me.
My friend. Buncher was my fucking friend. Ride or die. You can't kill Buncher and have me forget it. I will never forget it. Reggie killed Buncher. Reggie Wright Jr. ordered the hit on Buncher and Hen Dogs.
Hey, man. Show my nigga Mo Scandalous Los Angeles TV. He put coming, nigga. This nigga striking our pages, right? Hit that like button. Soon as these people get up in here, we gonna get into the content. But he said the Rampart pigs all got something on with Porky too. He gonna have to go into hiding soon or tell. Man, tell, he gonna tell. But I don't think so. It's been out already that Reggie was a 137. Hit that like button. I see y'all taking y'all time getting up in here. Okay, well, let's go like this. We gonna start with my nigga Scandalous, and then we get to that, and then we'll get back to Scandalous again. You getting a double watch. So if you was late, that's your fault. We not making everybody else wait. Hit that like button, man. We got 100 people in here. We need to have 100 likes. But hey, the nigga Scandalous did some good shit. He played if you're trying to get some placements with Scandalous, tap in. I can link you with his email if you're a musician and you want your music product placement into the content from Active Chucks or Most Scandalous Los Angeles TV. Tap in, your preference. We can link you up with that for the loadout. You know what I'm saying? But look, tell any artist you know, if they trying to get on Scandalous or Active Chucks, hit that DM. You know what I'm saying? Serious inquiries only. But look, when we got that whole interview, y'all got to go follow the Patreon. Pork Butt is already reporting my page, and y'all know he's going to try to get my channel taken. He said me and Reggie been boo. Bomani, Jerry G, Kid Q, Big Gov, salute. Zagante, beautiful black lady, G Wiz, salute. Listen, man, y'all got to go to Patreon, Active Chucks. I'm going to put it in the chat. Patreon, Active Chucks, and we going to be uploading part 2 and 3 now. Pork Butt. You wanted this to be over. You were seeing the strikes. We're going to put up part 2 and 3. We're going to cut out the part you said to give you a little time to think about our offer. See, if nothing, I want the people to be able to say the Damu and Kiwe conversations, Most Scandalous Los Angeles TV, they gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. You understand what I'm saying? Hit that like button, man. And if y'all want the exclusive on the interview, part 2 and 3 with this person, because it's going to come out who she is. It's already documented. See, all you got to do is go check Tupac and Biggie murder conspiracy. Death Row had 18 informants. Yo, I be folded when y'all impersonate Veggie. Y'all's a problem. Hey, Veggie wrong. Hey, Veggie, what's up, blah? Miss Benita's on one again. He want to keep you off the internet by all means. Listen, I'm going to put that up there so that they can't. If y'all want the content, y'all going to have to go to the Patreon. Me and Scandalous is not finna get hit. Listen, we need to support anyway. We need to support anyway. Go run this video up on Scandalous page, man. Let's go ahead and get to it, man. Shout out Blue Smurf. He got a smacker. Scandalous made sure he got it out there just on the strength. Shout out to the Black Mob.
Scandalous Los Angeles. This is a dude that trying to call himself LA Scandalous, gets into black politics. That's a cracker. Well, not a cracker. Well, he's a cracker. What I mean by cracker, I don't say white people crackers. There's people have crackers that are.
Hey, wait, y'all gotta start that back over. Hit that like button. This nigga Scandalous got Pacifist John in the back, like Beast on CS2 back, nigga. Just a ad libber, nigga. This nigga got John, and then he listen to him in the background, y'all. This nigga Scandalous ain't shit.
Die from a stock clip. It's that hot shit, the type of music make your homies bang in traffic. See the enemies and get active. Tiny man spazzing, don't get caught on them bang schemes. The homies scoring points, real gangbang athletes. Hey, a gang of bitches in my contacts. Blue Range, the riches, mafia crippin' and all that. Yeah, that.
How can you say that and John is white?
Scandalous Los Angeles.
Exactly.
This is a dude that trying to call himself LA Scandalous, gets into black politics. That's a cracker. Well, not a cracker. Well, he's a cracker. What I mean by cracker, I don't say white people crackers. There's people have crackers that are people that are there, but
what? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hey, Scandalous Los Angeles TV, before we answer another question, why don't you type in the chat what city and state you're in, or country? Just
No, he ain't gonna tell the truth. It don't matter.
I know.
He ain't gonna tell the truth. Everybody know he's somebody, a white boy that be hiding behind an AI voice.
Yeah.
That's keep involving himself in LA business. I don't understand how guys from LA allow him to do that on a channel with a blood rag and a red rag on it. Blood rag and a red rag on it.
This is how discombobulated Veggie Wrong is. He said got a red rag and a what did he say? The nigga said red. It's supposed to be a red flag and a blue rag, right? If you know, you know. This nigga Veggie is talking about the Damu and Kiwe conversation. Got a red rag and a red flag. Listen. And he mad because we got the red and blue rag is what he really want to say. But he's so discombobulated and upset, right? That he's beyond himself, that he just says red rag twice or something to that extent instead of having a red flag and a blue rag, right? Talking about the Damu Kiwe conversation. And we're stamping most scandalous Los Angeles TV. I don't even think it's a question, nigga. You ain't seen how we tore these YouTube streets up together, nigga? Huh. Nigga, the nigga Scandalous is the motherfucking GOAT. And he's really, really educated on that sector and studying Veggie Wrong. Let's get back to the content, though.
Let's keep involving himself in LA business. I don't understand how guys from LA allow him to do that on a channel with a blood rag and a red rag on it. Blood rag and a red rag on it. I really don't get it.
That got on the channel that got a blood rag and a red rag on it. The red flag is the blood flag. What the fuck you mean? And blood's got flags, not rags. It's the difference. So this nigga talking about a blood rag and a red flag. This nigga is stupid. He's slow. How is you gonna compete against a nigga as cerebral as Scandalous and you can't even talk straight, my nigga? You can't even, you talking about who shouldn't speak up on LA culture, nigga, you a suspect in pot death, nigga. Nigga, you supposed to did all kind of underhanded shit, nigga. And you don't even know the difference between that. You the police and an informant. That nigga went all the way law enforcement, nigga. Not only was he law enforcement, he turned out to be a federal asset. He might have made it to the CIA. Who knows? But it's definitely a whole lot of working. It's a whole lot of working going on. 137, 270. He's all of that. Let's go.
But hey,
The scandalous guy said, "Hey John, I got a question for you. How does it make you feel when Reggie calls me a white cracker right in front of you? It doesn't bother me one bit."
because he's not a cracker.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah, did you hear this nigga?
What do you say, dude?
Listen to this, bro. You got to react to this on everything.
John, I got a question for you. How does
the blood rag and a red rag on it. Blood rag and a red rag on it. I really don't get it.
A blood rag and a red. What?
The scandalous guy said, "Hey John, I got a question for you. How does it make you feel when Reggie calls me a white cracker right in front of you? It doesn't bother me one bit."
That nigga Scandalous. That nigga Scandalous said, "Hey John, this question's for you. How does it make you feel when Reggie calls me a cracker right to your face?"
Yeah, like, well, I mean, I think when you're working with your lover, it probably won't offend you as much because they have a love-hate relationship. So, you know, if nobody knew, breaking news, that's Veggie Wrong's lover. So
y'all got the enemy guessing. Listen, Brian Dow, they wanted, and some brothers was compromised, so they done got a little information. They know more than they supposed to know. You know what I'm saying by this point. But my life is public. I'm a public figure. I am who I am. So I'm there. He didn't want no clout. He just wanted to come help me because he said, I seen you needed some help. Nigga,
Right.
I linked with him. This nigga's the GOAT. Nigga, they all want to know who Scandalous is. Nigga, most Scandalous Los Angeles TV is the motherfucking GOAT. Listen, look at this nigga work. Nigga, this nigga's first, he lined the nigga up because they live and he tell John.
Before you get into that, he said a blood rag and a what rag?
a red rag and a blood rag.
Bro, this nigga so lost and out of. I think the COVID fucking with his brain molecules. This nigga, that pork butt, the grease fucking with your mental, bitch ass nigga. I know the COVID is fucking with his brain. They got a blood rag and a red rag. They got a blood rag and a red rag. They got a blood rag and a red rag. Man, shut your dumb ass up. They got a red rag and a blue rag. Stupid motherfucker.
Hey, talk about we shouldn't be letting him. He finna get into it. We shouldn't be letting Scandalous have a voice in LA politics. Nigga, you don't know who the fuck Scandalous is. But look, they said Damu and Kiwe conversation and Scandalous be digging under their ribs. Y'all blows hit and land different with no smut to make y'all fall back. Hey, listen, Jerry Griffin, I can have said it better myself, brother. Thanks for the compliment. We got a super chat, y'all. We got a super chat.
Hey, man, we got a super chat. Ice Man Vamp with the $5 super chat. Reggie and John got an agreement. Reggie can call people crackers, and John can use the hard ER. I believe it, Iceman Vamp. We appreciate anything and everything that's given to the Damu Kiwe conversation team. Is highly appreciated. Salute to you, your family, and your tribe.
They said Veggie can't even get a sentence out without a defibrillator. Defibrillator.
Clear. Hey, remember the emergency lifeline yesterday? Beep, beep.
Yeah, that shit going 24 hours when we recording them, lining them up. So look how Scandalous line this nigga up on this one. This nigga Scandalous sees John and Reggie Wright Jr. live, so he trolling. Scandalous is a troll, nigga. Nigga, he ain't gotta come out. He gets in your mind and asks you the questions you don't want to answer. So when going live, YouTube is a whole nother game. You know what I'm saying? So Scandalous said, send a super chat. Hey, John, this question's for you. How do it feel when Reggie calls me a cracker right to your face? You like that? And he ready. He said, I don't feel no way and this and this and that. Listen to this nigga.
All right.
Scandalous is lining these niggas up.
Hey, John, I got a question for you. How does it make you feel when Reggie calls me a white cracker right in front of you? It doesn't bother me one bit.
Because it's not a cracker.
Yeah.
See, that's just like saying a nigger or a nigga. You know, there's niggers or niggas, you know, which is the correct word.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
I don't call most black men niggas, but there is some niggas. Just like there's some crackers. But I'm not all white men are crackers. But it's good to feel that you're finally acknowledging that you are a white man.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
It wouldn't even be as bad if you used your real voice, but the fact that you try to use an AI voice that sounds like a black person is kind of disrespectful in itself.
So you got a white man saying the fact that you got an AI voice that sounds like a black man is disrespectful because you're not. He got a voice in hip hop culture. Nigga Scandalous got these niggas.
He be like, Scandalous Los Angeles TV in this episode. He's a white man with a black man's voice.
Hey, bro,
Gotcha,
this
bitch.
this is monumental. Cause Scandalous is responding to their calls. You niggas want to know who I am, so I can end up there like these other niggas you done knock down. This nigga, hey, the Orca is doing investigation to put the police on a nigga or to knock a nigga down or something. Why is you worried about where Scandalous is at and who he is?
You gotta read that. Ricky said, "Is John a cracker or a cracker?" Ricky, I fuck with you, Ricky. I fuck with you, Ricky. Hey man, the chat is. I gotta salute the chat. Salute to the chat, man. Because if it wasn't for y'all, we would not be involved. Salute to beautiful black lady, Mo Hill, Kid the Barber. Who else, man? Mike B, Lou from the Lou, Megan Davis. The chat be going crazy. Bird, who, man, you know, Deuce. The chat makes my day. Iceman Vamp, G Wiz, Fan West TV, and the list goes on and on and on. JB, Deuce. That chat is diabolical, brother.
Hey,
You gotta have
Luke
tough
from the
skin to
Lou.
make it in.
Luke from the Lou said might have to find out who Jonathan really is. It do the Damu Kiwe conversation. Hey, look, the team, give us everything that you can find on John. I already know Scandalous then looked up something, so it's time to dive deeper since John wants to strike my channels. You know what I'm saying? But I will not be intimidated. No. The part 2 and part 3 of this will be available only on Active Church Patreon. But Scandalous, keep running circles around these niggas. These niggas can't think past go.
You're misrepresenting who you are or what you are. So, yeah, I have no problem with that.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Not only do we ETE, expose the exposers, but we also ETE, edify through entertainment. And that's exactly what we plan to do today. By now you already know about the drama unfolding between us and Bomb First.
For those who don't understand this thumbnail, this is a classic movie starring Richard Pryor, The Toy, right? And this guy that you see on the left with melanated, that's Veggie Wrong. And as the dude, he was the toy of a rich white kid. He had to do everything the rich white kid wanted him to do. Then you had the father, Jimmy Iovine, right? And then you got his wife, and you got John. Diabolical, bro.
The other day, I uploaded a video titled, Marion Knight Goes Nuclear on Reggie Wright and Whack 100, that Bomb First had taken down, claiming it was harassment. The video I did wasn't using their content. It actually came from Discretion TV. I simply highlighted the moment where Simon said, every woman Reggie had, he had first. That's what they struck me for. And yeah, after all that, I responded with a little humor. Dropped a few funny visuals like Notorious B.I.G. and the refrigerator Reggie. But only after they tried to take me down over content that didn't even belong to them. Then they took it a step further and hit me with a copyright strike on a full-length documentary I produced myself. That wasn't about copyright. That was about trying to silence me. So we reached out to Reggie and got in touch with John at Bomb First. Reggie and John agreed to retract the strike, and we're just waiting for that to go through, and I appreciate that. We also reaffirmed the original agreement. I can still cover Reggie when it's relevant, as long as it's done respectfully, which it always has been, until the strike.
But he want to say this, try to promote his little channel. Reggie, I thought you said you could tap at each other. We can't tap each other, but lie on people? Why you struck me? You struck Scandalous, John?
Yep.
Oh, you did? Okay. Oh. Yeah, I knew we did Deuce. I didn't know you got him. You said I was Deuce's girlfriend. All I did was tap at you with the refrigerator. You do stuff every day talking about, you done made up some female talking about.
Reggie gets pissed, tries to get his lawyer in there, right? Suge wasn't going for it. It ain't Reggie's company.
And you put stuff on there calling me a pig. Reggie, the Notorious Pig. And you don't think I could tap at you?
Like I said earlier.
The Notorious B.I.G, nigga. Nigga, this nigga Scandalous is crushing these niggas in the YouTube streets, bro. The Notorious P.I.G, nigga. The Notorious Pig, nigga. Nigga, you know how embarrassing that was? Man, I'm going to get that picture, bro. We got to show y'all the picture. I'll push play. Let me go get it.
Here. The only reason I even responded that way is because John struck my page. At first, I thought it was Reggie, but Reggie just confirmed that John was the one who did it.
And you know, hey, play fair. Use your own stuff. Use your voice for once. Stop using the AI voice.
You know, it's sad. It's really sad. These white boys can run entire YouTube channels using AI voices. No face, no name, just content. There are whole tutorials out there. Entire segments dedicated to faceless YouTube channels, showing people exactly how to do it. But the moment a black man does the same thing, suddenly it's a problem. Suddenly he's being told, use your real voice. Y'all see what's going on, right?
I think you're a white boy from the UK myself. I bet you, but you know, to call yourself, I only know how Deuce Films and all them let you get in LA politics. And you're not even from out here.
You're not even from out here. This nigga is crazy. Let's go. How Deuce Sims let Scandalous get in LA politics. I'm going to let Scandalous school you on LA politics, nigga.
And you's a white guy that do research and go, and like I said, you know, white people can be in hip-hop and all of this, but you getting involved in gang activity and stuff like that.
Reggie keeps backtracking on all his little white boy comments, because he forgets he's sitting right next to a white boy when he says them. Then, like clockwork, he tries to flip the narrative and say, I'm the one focused on gang politics. This channel isn't about gang politics. This channel is about exposing the exposers, and that includes everyone CS2back brings along with him, Reggie included. Now Reggie wants to act like a white man being involved in gang politics is some kind of issue. But the guy he's always sitting next to, the white skater from Georgia, is knee-deep in it. And CS2back. He consistently podcasts with a white Satanist who couldn't care less about our people. This same white boy is deep in the mix of gang politics, fully embedded. And worse, he's on the internet trying to set people up who are already in the middle of a federal case. Take Loose Cannon. He's in federal custody right now, accused of extorting a weed shop with Big U. But not once did Loose Cannon go on Adam 22's platform and admit to extorting a weed shop. Not once. But Adam gets on a recorded call, knowing the feds are listening, and asks, you robbed a weed shop, or you extorted them, right?
Let me just hit you with a narrative. Is that a lot of people think that, in particular Traps for us, they think that you saying that you were falling out with Wack over the fact that he reported on the cops raiding your house when you allegedly got swatted or whatever, they think that that was all a cover because you actually were mad at Wack for basically getting Big U caught up because you knew that you were going to get caught up as a result of some of the shit that Wack or that Big U and you did together.
No, well, me and Big Useless didn't do anything. Me and Big Unisex never did not one thing together. So
you robbed the weed shop, or you extorted him, right? You robbed the weed shop, or you extorted him, right? You robbed the weed shop, or you extorted him, right?
Hey, bro, I don't never want to hear you niggas defending this devil that you niggas is taking to y'all hood day, bro. This nigga is Babylon, my boy. What a gun star. Y'all got this non-affiliate mountaineer all up in gang politics, asking him, did you extorted him, right? In front of 5 million people. And that's normal to these youngsters in 2025. Cloud is a dangerous drug, man.
No, never robbed no weed shop, Adam.
You guys, Loose Cannon is in federal custody right now. He's being charged with extortion and robbery, caught up in an indictment involving Big U and Brick Baby. So what does Adam 22 do? He gets on the phone with Loose Cannon, on a federally recorded line, knowing full well the feds are listening, and tries to bait him into admitting to the very crimes he's being charged with.
Right.
Adam literally tries to get Loose Cannon to confess on tape. And after pulling a move like that, Adam still turns around and inserts himself into gang politics like it's nothing. And get.
Hey, that is crazy. Real quick, that nigga Lou from the Lou said he got Reggie on water running from them piranhas. Bro, when Richard Pryor was running on top of the water in the toy, nigga from the piranha. Nigga, he that'll be class. They wouldn't know it though. That's why he had to do this one where Richard Pryor had on the Spider-Man suit as the toy, so people will remember. But nigga, at least you will remember that was the funniest shit to me. That nigga Richard Pryor ran on top of water, nigga, for the piranha.
Guess what? Reggie doesn't have a problem with Adam's voice, even though he's a white man from clear across the United States. Reggie has no problem with his co-host John having a voice, even though he's a white boy from Georgia. What about these guys? Reggie doesn't have a problem with any of these guys inserting themselves in black politics. We all know how much he loves the way Vlad from Russia inserts himself into gang politics.
All right, let me ask you another question. And I remember I asked Beanie Siegel the same question. Mm-hmm. Who do you think, based on your, your experience and your background, who do you feel are the real gangsters in hip hop?
He doesn't question or even point out their motives. For some reason,
but you getting involved in gang activity and stuff like that. LA, I don't even touch on certain parts of towns and stuff like that.
He's saying Scandalous is getting involved in gang activity. How is a nigga that is in the UK, if you believe what Reggie said, associating with gang activity or doing gang activity? How do you know he's even a gang member? Is you trying to get a RICO started on this or something, Reggie Wright Jr.? You want to put us in jail? Is that what's going on? Why are you so worried about most scandalous Los Angeles TV? He's the GOAT. Bumbleclot Babylon. CS2 ain't took Adam 12 to his hood. Yeah, because he can't go. Let's go.
I only touch on town and people that I know from the Compton, LA area. But you insert yourself and stuff, and you got a channel that's just built on. I bet you go look at your 5 last videos. They're about Reggie Wright.
It's crazy. I've got over 100 videos on my channel, and only the last 3 are about Reggie Wright. Just 3. Because for the past 20 years, I've watched Reggie get on the internet and insult Simon in every way imaginable. He's been dragging Simon publicly for 2 decades. When Simon finally gets online and responds, that's a big deal. Everybody heard it. Everybody wanted to talk about it. That wasn't just some clip. That was news. And yeah, I made 3 videos about it. But Reggie's got 100 videos on his channel, all talking about Simon. See, this just proves what I've been saying. He doesn't have a problem with white people being involved in gang politics. We've already seen that. He's got a problem with me. And for the record, Reggie knows I'm not white and that I'm from right here and not some other country.
Listen, man, Reggie act like he didn't watch that documentary. Nigga, Reggie know I ain't white. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what Scandal's telling you, nigga. Scandalous is a nigga. Scandalous is a nigga. You talking about he shouldn't have a voice because he's a mountaineer. He called him a cracker.
Dude.
Yeah.
Is Scandalous a cracker? He's a nigga.
Yeah, he's a nigga. Hey, we got a super chat, y'all. Could you handle that one for us real quick? You can see that one.
What, the super chat?
Yes, sir.
Let me get to that super chat real quick, man. I think we got two of them. We got Iceman Vamp, the $5 super chat. Reggie doesn't believe black people can do thorough research. That is a fact. Then we got Drew V with the $20 super chat. Hashtag no zone. That means in English, no rat zone. Hey, man, salute to the brothers and sisters that always donate, man. We appreciate anything and everything that is given to the Damu Kiwe Conversation team. Salute to you, your family, and your tribe.
Well, salute. And to answer that question about how he feels or perceives his own people not being able to do thorough research, just really reflects how he feels as being a black man, how he feels about himself. You know what I'm saying? So, little doodles, what's up, Dude Sims and y'all L champs? Keep y'all foot on their neck. No rat zones, man. We own them. I told him.
What's up, baby?
I told Reggie what to do. I mean, don't make me drop another atomic bomb. This one is definitely Hiroshima. Let's go.
He's got a problem with me. And for the record, Reggie knows I'm not white and that I'm from right here and not some other country. He's playing dumb like this so that when his tactical team knocks me down, he can act like he thought I was a white guy from the UK the whole time. Don't let Reggie spin you.
You know, you just want to do videos disrespecting me, and I'm glad John got your ass. I hope you use more stuff. Matter of fact, now that I know he's on your ass, I thought you were just messing with Deuce. I was gonna let Deuce off the hook. I was just showing Deuce, don't mess with me. But since y'all want to go ahead and take it, I'll get y'all channel taken down because y'all don't use nothing but our content.
Y'all don't use nothing but our content.
And so I'll get y'all taken down for 14 days. So you learn how to do your titles. You put out.
So now you learn how to do your titles. So he don't like our titles.
Stuff that's correct information.
Make sure it's correct information. So he's asserting that we told a lie about something. What lie? What we lie about? Veggie wrong?
Reggie keeps talking about putting out correct information. But let's be real. How many times have we caught Reggie putting out false information on his channel? He's been pushing lies and misinformation for years. That's not even up for debate. And now he's trying to lecture me about accuracy. He's out here demanding that I put out correct information. But the crazy part is, I still don't even know what he thinks I got wrong. What exactly did I say that wasn't true?
But this is disrespect people and lie on people? Talking about some female, you got some female. You up there talking about my car got repossessed. Wait a minute. They repossessed my car from me. I hadn't drove the car that I bought for Buntry. I gave him on the date sometime in September and let him drive it around every day until he got shot and killed in it. So y'all just got all your information, just making up shit. Got some female, bet she won't ever say her name, talking about that she went to the law to sue me. How could Buntry sue me for anything? The bankruptcy estate went through Suge books like crazy. Never got sued. So all of that, y'all stuff that you're talking, somebody.
He never got sued. But nigga, this is when Suge got home and realized you stole all his money. It wasn't Buntry that was suing you. He's supposed to got $1 million out of Suge if we believe what you said. So if Suge trying to get him $1 million, but the money's been stolen, right, by you. They go talk to some lawyer. And when they talk to the lawyer, they trying to get a lawsuit going because you stole Suge Knight's building. Oh, you stole the building. You stole Suge Knight's money for 5 years with an alternate bank account called Death Row Records. Fraud. Stand on the media, bird, salute. And then they'd have moved all that shit to the Caymans. You know what I'm saying? Him and David Kenner. Let's get to the thing.
You got some female talking all of this shit. I bet you she won't ever say her name because I know she ain't worked for no Death Row. I didn't give Bunchy the car. He was driving it. The car was in my name.
Salute.
It wasn't a gift. It was just, here, nigga, drive this. So you can be around and follow Suge around.
And how many cars, Reggie, were quote unquote
in
Death
my
Row
name
cars that were in your name?
Yeah. 3 of Suge cars was in my name.
Okay.
The limo was in my name. I had probably about 5 or 6 cars.
That's all I wanted to tell people.
Yeah, 5 to 6 of the cars that were around there was in my name.
So what I'm finna do, I'm finna send this into YouTube. And since you want to play the report game, we gonna come to some kind of agreement, pork butt. But if you didn't hear what Cameron said, good. Now you guys have them on tape admitting to using a copyright strike system for malicious intent. Yeah, we got him. He want to play them games? Oh, you gonna bow and kiss the ring, Reggie, right?
So everything that was bought from 2000, 2001 was in my name.
Yeah.
Shit, the cars that most of his bras that Teresa Swan was driving around was in my name. The house in Malibu that she stayed in was in my name. The house that Stormy and Lil Suge grew up in was in my name. So yeah, I'm the one that handed him the key. Yes.
So Reggie hired this firm and formed a company called Death Row Records, which Reggie was secretly stealing Suge's checks and putting it in that Death Row Records bank account. So Reggie had already taken the building, right? And he was stealing Suge's checks for 5 years. So when Suge got out of jail, his money was gone. And he didn't know why. What happened, right? So Suge hired, right? You following me?
Uh-huh.
Because Reggie was putting the money in the second account, right? So Bontrey was Suge's childhood friend. Mob liked to take credit for that, but nah, they all grew up together. Suge and Bontrey were like brothers. They were tight. And Bontrey was a tough guy from Peru, right? So what happened was, I told Bontrey and Suge, we scheduled a meeting with some litigators, right? But before we went up to that meeting, and that meeting was Bontrey Marquez was retired PD, Suge Security. In that meeting were Bontrey, me, Marquez, and the head of the law firm, right? It was downtown. Now, when Suge found that not only had Reggie put the Beverly Hills building, 8200 Wilshire, in Reggie's name at the county recorder's office downtown, the janitor went down and found those paperwork. So let me go back. All right. So the day before, 2 days before that meeting, right, Suge and Bontrey found out that Reggie put the building in his name. Suge's pissed. That building is worth millions.
Now, Reggie, she said Suge comes home. I think this is 2002, 3, around there, the end of 2002, 2002 or 2003 when Suge came home. And he find out that his building is stolen. So it's stolen. Reggie done stole his building, Death Row Records. right? So that's a major issue. Reggie Wright Jr. and Suge were not seeing eye to eye at that time. And she's putting Buntry Ave. Rest in peace to the GM. A lot of people I talk to love Buntry Ave. I'm talking about with their heart. And that, from all accounts, he was a real gangster. But him and Suge went to the lawyer. She took them to the lawyer. Let's go.
Millions, right? And Suge don't own it no more, right? So Suge's pissed because he don't even have no deed to his own shit, right? Which is what Reggie did while Suge was up in Mule Creek for 5 years on the parole violation for Pac, kicking Pac at the MGM, right?
Right.
You know, the thing with Orlando Addison where they kicked him and all that shit. Okay,
right,
fine.
right.
So they were hot over that building shit that Little ruffled them about, right? They were hot. Okay. Then when I found all the paperwork where Reggie was stealing all the checks, they're super hot. They're like, oh, fuck this shit, right? So they're like, Suge told Buntry to go repossess Reggie's SUV. Suge told Buntry to go repossess Reggie's SUV.
Now, Reggie. Now I understand why Veggie Wrong Pork Butt would want to undermine the credibility of whoever was coming out to talk before that person even talked. Because what she's doing right now puts Reggie Wright Jr. in the driver's seat. Hit that like button, bro. In the driver's seat with a motive and adversity against not only Suge Marion Knight, but Buntry Ave. Hit that like button, man. Reggie, why did Buntry have your car? Why is it under your name? You haven't said that publicly, have you? We got some questions for you, old Veggie.
I don't want to show up to the house and said, here, homie, you can drive this around. But no, it wasn't in his name. It wasn't paid for. It was a $1,400, or well, it wasn't that much. $999. It was almost $1,000 a month car note on there. But I put the down payment because I traded in this Tahoe. I had anybody that know me, well, they done talked about it, where I had a Tahoe that looked like the one that Orlando, because that's why everybody thought I was the one that got shot when Orlando and them got shot. Because it was in a Tahoe truck that was similar to mine. Yeah, I remember that two-door Tahoe that we used to be on somewhere, and they tried to say they thought it was my car or something like that. They got shot or something like that. Well, I had a Tahoe like that, and that's what I traded in to give Buntry a 2001 Denali for him to drive around there. So y'all be over there putting up all that false bullshit. Y'all not gonna just be lying.
Reggie's
on
out
me.
here accusing us of lying on him, but we're not the ones who said it. The woman said it. And clearly she knows a little more about the situation than most people do. So why is Reggie pointing the finger at us? We didn't make it up. We're just reporting the news.
Y'all just not gonna be lying on me. And so, but that car was Buntry had driving around from about September or maybe October of 2001 all the way till he got shot and killed in April the 4th, April the 5th, 2002. Then I went and got it from Out of the Impound. And then I wasn't even fucking with Death Row then. I went and gave it all the Tata. Lloyd Lake. I had him drive.
So all of this about this is me and Scandalous really breaking it all the way down, right? All of this about a car. So let me just give you a little bit of a timeline, right? So Reggie puts the building in his name. Reggie was stealing all the shit. Suge tells Buntry, go repossess the truck from Reggie. On January 2nd, 2002, Reggie just got fired. February 28, 2002. And on April 1st, Reggie picks his shit up. His last check, he picks up his last check April 1st. The truck was taken and repossessed from him, right? Then they get a threatening call at Death Row Records, right? At the office about to Buntry, allegedly. And then April 2nd, Buntry Al is unalive. This timeline is very nasty for Reggie Wright Jr. Of course, he would try to undermine this person and their credibility and spread disinformation because it's not looking good for Reggie Wright Jr. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into the chat before we get back into it. Oh, yeah. Daz, we're going to get into some of that about the money shit later. I want to get back to this, but I want to hear what the chat is. Stay active in the chat. You mean Tahoe Veggie Steak? Is this the money Suge said he was sending to his father? So Buntry was broke. Buntry wasn't working. No, Buntry worked for Death Row. He was on salary, bro. He wasn't broke, but he was supposed to get looked out for. Why did you let Buntry drive your car? Yeah, because Suge told Buntry to take that. Nigga, you got fired February 28th, nigga. And you picked up your last check April 1st. So why would you want a car that's supposed to be a Death Row car that's in your name? Why would you be wanting to get that back in the first place? Reggie, we got some questions, Reggie. He did all that on a security guard salary, right? Reggie knew people were after him. Raider Q, sometimes it is best to keep your enemies close. Reggie at 270, he not going back. He telling, yeah, he ain't 137, he 270. Miss Lisa, do CMJI on salute. He said G rolled up on him thinking he was someone else. Wait, who said G rolled up on him thinking he was someone else? Reggie? Salute to the chat. You already know, Deuce. On point timeline, yeah. Veggie, a zesty, garbage-ass football player that had the luxury to have Suge Knight as his best friend, and he had envy in his heart his whole life for him. You could tell using the police to try to steal. You could tell using the police to try to steal. Hey, listen, man. Let's break it down. Edified through entertainment. Hashtag ETE in the chat. Expose the exposers. Edified through entertainment. Scandalous did that. We almost done. I know that just don't make sense. Shit Reggie was saying. Right. I thought the same thing. It has to me at some point. You have to cut ties. Zesty ass Veggie. Deuce, is this the time period that Veggie was slanging? I don't know. Reggie was always putting himself at crime scene. We don't know how far back Reggie was slanging. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how far back he was selling. Marijuana is all he was ever claims he pled to. So I don't know if he was selling anything else, but we don't know how long he was selling marijuana. The plug and the police. Hashtag Veggie wrong in the chat. Hashtag ETE. The plug and the police.
Driving it around. And then shit, then he got arrested. That car was bad luck. I remember I had my briefcase in the back of it. And that's my wife a $15,000 diamond ring in the briefcase. So somebody broke in the back seat of that when my house in Ladera. Stole the briefcase and stole her diamond ring. And I love it. That I was taking to get fixed because the diamond was loose. And I said, this fucking car is a bad luck car. And then I eventually got rid of it. But you wasn't even messing with Death Row then. No, I wasn't. I was, I was working at A&M. I was doing the relatives, the group The Relatives. But if you was from LA, you would know all of this.
We're going to do a little research on that too. See what year on the discography, because Lloyd Lake had brought The Relatives out. You didn't bring The Relatives out. And he talking about almost had a deal with Interscope. How Death Row loses distribution with Interscope, but after you then stole and siphoned, you, David Kenner, and Jimmy Iovine no longer distribute Death Row records. Interscope is no longer, but you, David Kenner, Jimmy Iovine are then talking about giving The Relatives distribution. Why would act that you saying is all you be able to get distribution through Jimmy Iovine, but Suge Knight and Death Row Records, who had a bigger roster, weren't able to negotiate or continue to get distribution through Jimmy Iovine? See, this is the type of shit that really make you say,
You need to get off the internet and find somebody else to try to get your views. But, I looked at your views. You get about 10,000 views on doing your AI voice impressions and stuff. I was mad at Buntry and them then. We was all at war.
Reggie's out here saying they were all at war. But in the same breath, he says he let Buntry drive his car around until the day he died. So which one is it, Reggie? If y'all were really at war, why would Buntry be riding around in your car? That doesn't add up. You don't let someone from the other side, somebody you're supposedly at war with, drive your car like that. Especially not up until the day they die.
There's rumors his team.
We was at war. We're not war shooting up each other, but it was like fuck each other there. Suge was trying to kill off my album, The Relatives. I had Interscope almost about ready to distribute.
Wait, so you had war with Suge now that he done came home, since we got this timeline, right? 2022, 2023, Suge finds out that you done stole his building, that you've been siphoning off all of his money, royalties owed for Tupac records that were being licensed without his authorization and or being compensated. Suge tells Buntry to go repossess the truck from Reggie on 1/2/2002. Reggie got fired February 28, 2002. And April 1st, he picked up his last check. Hey, Reggie, why don't you show us a pay stub of your last check? Right? Why don't you do that? Your last check with Death Row, 2022, 2023. Let us see what you was getting paid on that you were able to buy an industrial building. Let's go.
So I wasn't fucking with them then. I wasn't fucking with those Death Row dudes there. So.
That sound like a motive to me.
But hey, Scandalous, you do what you're gonna do, but I didn't go to the funeral.
Yeah.
James, y'all heard me tell James on a live stream I didn't go to, or on Gangsta Chronicles, and James was even shocked. He didn't remember me not going.
Then you don't go to Buntry funeral? So he should have that money sitting somewhere in an account in another name. Yeah, he got offshore account. You got to think David Kenner was the king of that type of shit. David Kenner doesn't get enough flack. David Kenner was the one who backstabbed Harry O and got the money to start Death Row Records, allegedly. You have informants also adding a little Pat in there, right? As an investor, allegedly. right? This is what Harry O and them is putting out. David Kenner was the lawyer that took Suge Knight to MDCLA, where they're protesting right now. The federal building where Big U at on lockdown because they protesting out there, right? To visit it as if Suge Knight is a paralegal or something with his firm. And Suge Knight was able to talk to Harry O, and he let him know about Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and his team he's put together in the music industry. Harry O already having ties to the music industry, even to Denzel Washington. There's definitely brings about a situation where, how did Reggie Wright get the money to buy this building? Should that have that money sent somewhere? But back to this lawyer, he always wanted to be a lawyer for the mob. He was a small hat, Las Vegas, grew up with a lot of mob bosses' children. And he ended up being an attorney for the mob. But I'm quite sure there's a thing. David Kenner is the mastermind behind all of this. I believe so. But I believe that there were powers, and Reggie Wright was the orchestrator of the actions. But David Kenner definitely, you don't steal the money from Harry O without David Kenner. Then you don't steal the money from Suge without David Kenner. David Kenner was the machine for Death Row Records from the legal standpoint. Suge was the face and the muscle, right? Y'all was beefing, but he was in your car when he got killed. You didn't go to the funeral, shaking my head. Listen, they was beefing. Then he said Suge is hating on him, getting distribution through Interscope. So now Suge is telling Jimmy Iovine, fuck you mean you gonna get his fat ass police nigga a motherfucking distribution for a label he got going on the West Coast? Where the fuck my money at? What the fuck kind of shit y'all got going on? So you motherfuckers is all in it together? David Kenner, what kind of shit you got going on with Reggie and Jimmy? Nigga, you ain't finna be asking where $300 million went? You been in jail, nigga. You get to spend $300 like everybody else. Nigga, you get a package once every 3 months like every other inmate, nigga. Ain't nothing special. I mean, you got fringe benefits because you got that bag. You know what I'm saying? Money can't make the police talk, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's looking nasty for pork. But I thought Kawhi Leonard was the claw, but Veggie is the real claw. We can't forget about him. He knows all of the shortcuts around the law. Big U, Brick Baby, Lil Durk. Yeah, Kenner is the legal mind and all of this trickery. Yeah, man. Yeah, ready to cue him in his plastic face. Yeah, hey, dude, y'all, I seen a conspiracy theory wing that they said they believe David Kenner was like out for some type of alien or clone or some shit. Nigga, a cold agent. Yes, Miss Lisa, wasn't Kenner a former DA? But remember, Tupac was allegedly being extorted by the JDL, right? The defense league for the small hats. It's man, listen, bro. And you gotta think David Kenner signed this deal with Tupac. And in California law, I think that Tupac signed a great deal. For where he was at, it was a great deal. But Suge was cooking the books on Pac. Pac was owed $10 million in royalties. And Suge is writing them off and as if he keeping them in the red, like he haven't recouped. How a nigga go diamond and then go diamond again, and you talking about I ain't recouped. Nah, my nigga. So allegedly, Pac wanted to see the books, right? So David Kenner, by signing the original contract, where it was 3 albums, Pac is allegedly arguing, nigga, All Eyes on Me is 2 albums. That's a double CD. After Machiavelli, that's it. There was that dispute, right? David Kenner is looking because Pac is saying, nah, nigga, it's a conflict of interest with this nigga David Kenner being my lawyer and lawyer representing Death Row Records. And you niggas talking about I ain't recouped. Nigga, I'm firing David Kenner. David Kenner is getting cut out. David Kenner got Tupac out of jail, nigga. Nigga, you think with that kind of investment, a nigga like David Kenner was just going to allow niggas to cut him out the equity within Tupac Shakur? The Jewish Mafia. Yes. Just as they said with Eazy-E. God bless. Shout out to Lil Easy, man. We got that interview with Lil Easy. Go check that out, man. Sharp youngster, man. Hey, Lil Easy. There's a lot of people who are from the thought that maybe that's who implanted Easy, so they can steal his catalog. That when you got them big catalogs, look at Prince. Remember Prince put slave on his forehead and changed his name to a symbol because the name Prince, that artist Prince, was under contractual obligation with a record label and he deserved to be paid better. Look what happened with Prince. A happen chance overdose with his physical therapist. What happened with that? Who owns the masters to a lot of his music. That's my favorite artist. Before Tupac, Prince is my number 1 artist, not MJ. Bad motherfucker. But Prince play all them instruments, right? Prince write all that music, even wrote for a lot of other people, Vanity 6, those groups he helped create. So, Morris Day, you know what I'm saying? But listen, what happened to MJ and him? What happened to Prince? They got these little kids talking about that they were told to say this to get them allegations against Michael Jackson. Rest in peace. Like, look, they going in. Pac fired Kenner and Reggie. Fact. Pac fired David Kenner and sent the fax to fire Reggie Wright Jr., Right Waist Securities. So he's definitely building distance in between Death Row Records, David Kenner, and even his security force. He's not trusting these niggas. Now, with that being said, Pac was M.O.B. Pac was M.O.B. Got put on. So with that, that doesn't mean he's beefing with Suge. We got a dispute about some money or something. We try to work through that. That don't mean that I don't trust you with my life. I don't trust this police nigga with my life. Right? It's not that I don't trust you with my money. I don't trust Death Row with my money. Because David Kenner is representing me and you. That's a conflict of interest, legally. So we firing him, and I want to read the books. And that's something that's crazy, because this is where the scrutiny from my part comes on Jimmy Iovine. Interscope owns 50% of those masters because they had a 50-50 deal with Death Row Records. So if David Kenner is stealing money, Jimmy Iovine is stealing money, Pac fired Kenner and Reggie. And Pac fired Reggie. If he asked it, because really Pac deal was with Interscope, right? Initially, right? Suge takes on, and allegedly Interscope gave Suge the money to get Pac out, right? However it comes, he signed a deal to Death Row Records as part of him getting out. Because Suge take the responsibility on it, and in return, Death Row Records is getting 3 Tupac albums, right? Millions given up front, bought his mama house, bought him Rolls Royce, the Lolo, all of this. Now, David Kenner, you had to know this, and more than likely had a problem with Pac and his estate seeing the books. Because if Death Row has a deal with Interscope and Pac is saying he want to see the books, Interscope has also got access to the books. Because the deal really and contract really originally was just through Interscope. They let Suge in to play his position. So Jimmy Iovine, I'm talking about a motive. Did you have a problem with Pac seeing his books? Did you ever get any requests from Pac requesting, or his attorneys requesting to see the books? Because he's trying to see when he recouped and how much money is owed to him. See, some of these people feel entitled to everything you own. You know, some people built the richest country in America, and they're billions and fortunes on the hard labor of melanated people that look like us. Exploited our culture, exploited our work, hard work, exploited our people and our pain. Remember, Tupac's assistant had Pac fired David Kenner because it was a conflict of interest. Yeah, Reggie stole Suge's life. This a Lifetime movie. Israel is a maid. That's still a part of Akabuyan, a.k.a. Africa. The canal was not made natural. Oh, I didn't know it was made natural or not, but I do understand this. It's connected to the earth plate, is still connected to the motherland. That's a fact. So who is Kenner connected to? Oh, this shit get deep quick. Well, I can tell you this. Suge Knight, a high A-list celebrity, a business mogul in the Black community, was able to get an entertainment club in the land of the mob, Las Vegas. The account firm that was handling the Death Row books got sued by Suge and settled for $20 million. Right. Dukes, I just came back. Store run. I was saying the same thing. Veg don't know record, B.I. business, Iovine, legal, financial, Kenner, Veggie like dude. Trying that with Easy. JDL had Irv Rubin behind stone races. He was scared of brother Khalid Muhammad. Rest in peace to brother Khalid Muhammad. Everybody was eating off Pac. Hit that like button. JDL was in the FBI report that said Pac and Easy were being extorted by the JDL, led by Irv Rubin. Are y'all paying attention to what's going on? Now remember, a lot of people were saying that Haitian Jack is an informant now. I think in one of the Italian dudes who let Haitian Jack sleep on his bed, on his couch, right? I'm gonna go ahead and find that. But just say this. Say that when Pop got shot, allegedly by who they say he got shot by, right? And they try to claim it was because of Haitian Jack and this and this and that. And the case that he had with Tupac, same crime, different trial. You can picture what he said. Now, did I mention Payback was due on Jimmy Henchman? Jimmy Henchman was a Fed. Haitian Jack cousin is Wyclef Jean. And the other one that got caught transporting drugs, John Forte, nigga. Did David Kenner help Snoop on his murder case? No, I think on the murder case, it was Johnny Cochran. I don't know. That's a good thing. I know it was Johnny Cochran. I know it was the Kardashian boys, right? Cut the strikes out, Reginald. Play fair, pork butt. Yeah, for real. Rest in peace, Prince. Likewise, Deuce, and he was a genius. Yeah, he definitely was. DPG still together. Prince played all the instruments on a lot of his albums. Yeah, that's a fact. Snoop needs to be exposed. Where is that audio? Right. Prince was my favorite artist. MJ was mine, but Prince was a fire soul. Rest in peace to both. They wanted all their catalogs. Facts. They still want them. Listen, this is how vicious these people is, right? So after 25 years, a lot of people masters are returned back to the artist. You know what I'm saying? Unless they get paid some more money, renegotiate some kind of admin or distribution deal with a record company, right? So to defeat the equity built up into this, what you call it, they to maximize all of the main money that the catalog will amount to. So for the back end, they come up and invest into a streaming platform like Spotify and digital streaming, where now an artist isn't arguing for pennies on the dollar, they're arguing for percentages of pennies on the dollar. And now the valuation and value of the equity that's within the intellectual property, that's within the works of the masters, value moving forward totally decreases tenfold, right? So you could come with a 20-year anniversary, 25-year anniversary, best of album, or something you could put out for classic music, like Hit Your Bremen. You know what I'm saying? That was an anthem that's gonna stay a Brim anthem for 50 years. You know what I'm saying? But according to the bodyguard, Pac never liked Reggie because he was the police. Facts. Pork butt. Let's finish this though. We got 10 minutes.
Why you try to make people think Suge has something to do with Buntry murder? I said I'm starting to think that way. It gives me something to think about, is what I said. But you know what? Shit, he fucking with the nigga now that shot and that killed Buntry. And learning of the information with your partner Ducille, who's on the phone with me. Ask Ducille, was he on the phone with me when Tata told the story about him also hearing about the slap?
Yeah, I was on the phone when Tata told the story. It's very convincing, but I'm not sold on it. You know what I'm saying? And even if he did, nigga, I didn't have phase or got off on niggas and we didn't squash beef. So just even if it did, that doesn't denounce whether or not them niggas got back together. We got a witness if that happened. That shows that they were together the day before he got killed at a lawyer's office, trying to get money because you stole Suge's shit. Let's go, man.
Ducille was on the phone, so he heard that as well. So you know I don't just make up stuff. I was, and Timmy had said it, and all of that stuff. And I was like, goddamn, y'all gonna make me tell that story? Because Tata called me, like, Reg, why you ain't tell that story yet, man? Why you ain't tell that?
Well, I told you a long time ago, we interviewed Reggie Wright because he's trying to push a narrative that Suge was beefing with Bunchy at the time of Bunchy dying. And because
Oh, hell no! Those two would have given their life for each other.
Right.
No. Those were ride or die. Those were ride or die. And they both loved each other. To this day, if you see Suge's chest in about 3-inch tall letters, and Suge's a big chested guy. He's got a little waist and little legs, but that chest is a linebacker chest, okay? And all across it, in a big arc like a rainbow, and I'm going to say 3-inch tall letters is Buntry. Tattooed. For life, brother, for life. There was no beef. Everybody at the record company hated Reggie. Everybody. Ken Dog, Steve-O, Lip, T-Roo, Buntry, me, Tina, Sad, Ron Bilal, Bree. Everybody hated Reggie.
Was Sid really having a sexual relationship with Reggie?
I think so. Sid was gay as fuck. Sid had done time in the pen. Sid was stealing money from Suge. Couldn't be trusted with nothing. You couldn't trust Sid. We all hated Sid too, but we couldn't do nothing about it. We just hated Reggie more. Sid was as smart as Reggie. Reggie got in more with his dad's police connections. Okay? So, how the fuck did this shit come up now is what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, right now he's in a cyber war against Suge, right? And I'm talking about the gloves off. They both telling a whole bunch of truths and spinning it, pointing the fingers at each other and all of this. But in the midst of all of this,
and only Suge is telling the truth. Reggie has to lie because he don't want to see. Buntry was loved in the streets. Him had some friends. Him Dog had some friends because he did the Death Row logo. So people, that kind of put him on with the Pyru. He was in real good standing with the Pyru. Right. But nobody, Him Dog's funeral was crowded, packed, but Buntry's was standing room only all the way out to the street. Buntry was loved in the hood, across multiple hoods, not just Pyru. Okay, everybody loved Buntry. Everybody loved Buntry. I can't tell you that enough. Okay, the whole hood showed up when Buntry died. People loved him. Buntry was solid. Buntry didn't talk. Buntry worked. You could trust him. He wasn't a snitch. He never snitched. He knew every fucking thing, and Suge loved him. And that is why Reggie killed him, because Reggie had lost his job at the company as right-wing security. Suge had fired him, and Buntry was Suge's strongman, Suge's ace in the street, right? Like, you couldn't, to get to Suge, you had to get through Buntry.
Right.
And Reggie knew that. And that's why Reggie took him out.
But hey, keep your channel going, bro. Get your views. But don't do it at the expense of lying on Reg. Ain't gonna happen. So Suge Berry Buntry and a marble spent. Who told you that? He ain't spent no $250,000. Man, there's a goddamn episode with Suge, with James and them talking about he ain't had a tombstone yet.
But it was not the same without Buntry. Suge was a broken man. Suge was never the same after they killed Buntry. Never. Never. Never, never, never. That took a piece of Suge that Suge will never get back. We loved Bontrey. You should have seen how much money he paid for Bontrey's funeral. Everybody was there. House was packed. We went. Bontrey got in the mausoleum, like the same place like Michael Jackson is. Like, he didn't get buried in no regular grave. No. Bontrey got buried in marble, okay? They let off a bunch of white doves.
Yeah, I don't believe Mob James.
Ray J was there. Everybody was there.
Mob James ain't got no credibility.
Suge spent about,
He's a
I
red
don't know,
line
I'd say $250,000 on Bontrey's funeral. Okay, that was an expensive funeral, let me tell you. That was no cheap funeral. If you're feuding with someone, you don't spend your last dollars burying them in marble. Marble!
Right.
Inside the mausoleum. You have to go through the door.
Did Reggie go to Bontrey's funeral?
No, Reggie was not invited. He better not show up. He would have been killed if he had showed up. We had guys posted up everywhere. Nobody at the company liked Reggie.
Yeah. They didn't even do what they call that gravestone, headstone.
Yeah.
Like a year later. Don't you? Any of y'all been there? Y'all done heard that story with James? Suge ain't did nothing. Suge went and got $50,000 from Johnny Cochran, and I done told these stories before. And didn't even do that. The mother didn't even want to take no money for Suge. A funeral, only thing a funeral costs is $10,000 to $15,000, if that. It was done.
So you saying that Bunchy wasn't sent out the right way? Then you saying that Bunchy mom didn't want to take no money from Suge? Let's go.
Done at a church. And man, please.
Mind you, this nigga ain't at the funeral. He done convinced Mob James and them and pointed the finger at Suge because he done got fired. He's no longer with Suge, right? And Mob James believe him. Let's go.
No, $250,000 on his funeral. Oh my God! How do I know if I wasn't there? Because number one, I dealt with the bookkeeper. I dealt with the bookkeeper.
Came into my office wanting to see the corner photos of Left Eye because he wanted to know what happened to Left Eye. His left eye was fucking Suge.
Yeah, I was in the Fed.
Left Eye was in love with Suge. We all were. We worked for him. We loved being at death row. It was fun. We was having pizza parties, drinking, gangbangers hanging out in the parking lot, in the studio, going to restaurants. We were having the time of our lives. All we had to do was get rid of Reggie, and we were good. We were on our way. We had plenty of artists. We had PB, Pretty Boy. We had Ray J. We had Miss Cholet. We had Corrupt back. We had Crooked Eye. We had Jim Giddem. We had great engineers, great producers at the studio. We were good to roll. Jermaine Jackson came to the studio. I mean, we were banging. Mia was down there, you know, from Maya, M-Y-A. She was down there.
Oh, yeah, Maya.
Maya was down there. We were having fun, man. Corrupt was cutting songs. Spider Loaf was down there. Eastwood was down there. Vegas was down there. Suge had a full crew ready to go. Then Reggie started killing people.
You really believe me and Suge ain't talked about things since April 2002?
Or you and James, right?
Or James too, but you know they ain't gonna believe what James say.
Yeah.
But anyway.
See, Reggie already knows.
But you don't think me and Suge, women talk? And man, I know everything that went on and what went in and out of that place.
How do you know what went on and everything that went on inside of that place if you got fired on February 28th and picked up your last check April 1st? Bunchy, that you had a spy in there, you spying on Simon after you done stole his money? You and David Canner and these niggas, this shit is nasty work, bro. So let's get to the poll real quick. Does this new eyewitness mean pork butt gets arrested? 68% of y'all say yes. This means pork butt will be getting arrested. That's 148 votes. Then you got 30% say, nah, this ain't gonna mean nothing. He's a king rat. He ain't going to jail. 1% say this means David Kenner going to jail. 2% say this means Jimmy Iovine going to jail. Damn, this is a cold blow. Hey, hit that like button, man. This is very, very incriminating on these mountaineers and the crooked police. Oh, Reggie, you want to play? See, you can't. I don't do crimes, and I'm not in a vicinity where your goons can reach me. You know what I'm saying? I live L.A. shot caller. Salute. Reggie did say Suge was his superhero. Damn, Reggie brought down Death Row. No, Reggie helped the people bring down Death Row. He sold out Death Row, Suge, and everything else so that he could get a piece of it, cut the crumbs. You know what I'm saying? You know what this reminds me of, right? And this is a sad thing, right? Hood Tycoon, the downfall of a true dynasty. Hey, bro, that's a fact. So this is the coldest part, right? That's when it was the road. No, that's a fact. Raider Q. It was the road. You had Crooked Eye taking the shit on the billboard on Wilshire, right? You had Left Eye. She say Left Eye was fucking Suge. She say Left Eye was in love with Suge. Let me correct myself. Not just that it was some secret trace, that she actually loved Suge. I never heard nobody speak on that before, right? But this nigga Veggie wrong, nigga. It just stole this money from Suge, nigga. This lady is saying you trying to say Suge might have had something, or you're starting to believe Suge has something to do with Buntry. But she's saying you did have something to do with Buntry because for the day before Buntry was killed, she was together with Suge and Buntry. And everything was peachy cream, ride or die. So they were together. And she's saying Suge told her to go, told Buntry to go confiscate that truck from him. And Buntry was getting threats at the death row office on the phone. And it's crazy who she implicates in that. See, Veggie, you might have some long arms, but she connected. See, she ain't just an old street nigga like me. You understand what I'm saying? This woman is somebody. And you being the coldest house nigga in hip-hop, West Coast hip-hop history, nigga. The coldest sellout in hip-hop, you help them people rob the road. Rob Suge. And they gave you some crumbs and made you feel accepted in their circles. I know they bent you over. That's what happens at that level. And you were so eager to be Suge. You just bent over and took it. Now, these people talking about you got the hive, HIV, and that's why you really say, I don't know. I don't want to play with your health. I don't know. But I'm saying it's a whole lot going on. People questioning your sexuality. People linking you up with John. People linking you up with Cedric. The flaming homosexual at death row. It was a whole lot of homo stuff going on in Death. And listen, if that's your thing, and that's your thing. But I'm just saying they connecting your name to it, Reggie. Also to John. I'm just saying. But look, Reggie, why don't you look at it like this, Reggie? Right after the end of slavery, a lot of slaves, melanated slaves on the plantation, after the Civil War, didn't have nowhere to go. They didn't have a plan. They weren't even taught to think for themselves. They were taught to take orders and were treated as cattle, chattel slavery, right? So when they told them, hey, look, I can't make you stay here as a slave no more, but you can work in this season and we'll give you a portion thereof, right? And motherfucker like, fuck it, that'll be enough. I get my portion. We could go find something better, get on the road, right? So they utilize their sweat, blood, and tears picking cotton, if that was what they were doing. Or the sugar plantations in Brazil, Costa Rica, anyway, right? I'm talking about just slaves, period. But in the United States South, once the owner of the property takes his cut, brings back his overhead, controlling the money and his shit, that night, the local marshal and those who wear white sheets put on their white sheets and go burn it down. Whole season's work and profit for the ex-slaves so that they could get financial independence, so they could provide a better life for their family, so they can live their little part of the American dream. And the mountaineers, in the guise of the Ku Klux Klan, would terrorize in the night and burn down their profit. So now they're still dependent with nowhere to go. They got the slave quarters to still live in. But what other hope do they got than to wait another season until they catch on to what's going on? Then some will leave, and then they'll be arrested for vagrancy laws. You know, you just quit your job. Where you work at? Oh, I'm moving. I'm trying to look for work. No, we're arresting you for vagrancy. Now we're going to have you in jail, and your sentence for vagrancy is going to be hard labor. Might be at the exact same ex-slave master's house that you ran from. These were ways the U.S. government continued to allow slave owners payment off slave labor. This was how they continue to trick the system and get free labor. She needs to show some receipts. You can say all of that, but folks always want receipts. She needs to show some receipts. Hey, Raider Q, I got the receipts. Scandal's got the receipts. She is who she is. And it's documented in the paperwork, in the newspapers. She is who she says she is, right? It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. See, what we do is journalistic research. And when she get the name and all of these artists and painting a picture of Death Row at that time when Suge had just came on, and she labels down the chronology and tells you she was there with this nigga the day before. The day before, we know where Buntry was, where Suge was, because it's documented in the newspaper. She's not lying. We could prove that. Reggie, no, we could prove that. So this isn't a secret or a burden of proof on her. Let's not kill the messenger. The validity of who she is and where she was on April 1st, the day before Montreal Alton, what's their last names? I forgot. McDonald, right? Alton McDonald, Bunch React, rest in peace, right? Where he was at the day before. And in fact, I'm quite sure his brothers know who this woman was and that she was there. You know what I'm saying? So, salute. Appreciate your work. Hey, Zero Regret. Salute, bro. So Wack got pig butt on the rebound from Suge, Mike B. Always say he got to take care of his family. Big Jake folks from Capinella Park, Paru said that Big Jake's mother did not want no money from Suge because she wants to know what happened to her son. Then maybe he's telling the truth. Big Jake, well, she want to know what happened to her son in Atlanta. That's a totally separate situation. I'm glad she will. I'm sure she will want to know too. But I'm quite sure the feds talked to her because they investigated that for sure. Los Scandalous and Deuce. I got some of that paperwork. And Deuce gets a standing ovation. Reggie can't. Los Scandalous and Deuce get a standing ovation. Oh, you know, when he said war, he didn't know about the Damu Kiwe conversation. We really militant-minded. We're tenacious. When we got a reason to, you don't want to be the reason. Pork butt. Reggie can't walk saying, y'all don't know what I'm capable of. Hit different. He was doing all this dirty work in his police uniform. Allegedly. And then why you keep acting as if the existence of this torture video that Montreal was allegedly watching. Who was saying he was watching? Who was that person? Where was he watching this at his house? Who was there? Since all you informers is talking about and trying to make it seem like that's why they did it. It was a gang on gang murder. Everything is so easy. What Pac say? Niggas been down for years. So how can they blame us? Right? People who put in work understand in LA at that time, a lot of murders, it's easy for police to classify them as gang murders. You know what I'm saying? In Compton. Reggie met, but when you're talking about handcuffs and that the victim was beaten and tortured before being knocked down, and then y'all want to snitch or lie snitch, either or, and say that G did these murders, I'm not necessarily buying it. Reggie Wright Jr., you don't have that kind of cred with me. Detective Ladd doesn't have no credibility. Them dudes is all compromised. They work under Reggie Wright Sr. So their boss is going to protect Reggie Wright Jr. in any foul bullshit he knows he was caught up in. Okay, now I feel better about it. Yes, Mike. Okay. LA shot caller, he introduced Wack to Greg Cadence too. So he knew Wack was a rat when he put him under Suge. People are saying that Purata had got the proof that Wack was snitching. This is somebody just met. Laura Breezy, salute. Y'all hit that like button if you're just coming in. So we're going to go back up over that again, but I wanted to get some of this other shit, man. Delray Richardson, salute to Straight Gang. Because Daz was talking about it. And then when we interviewed Suge Knight, remember Suge told us that the nigga Reggie Wright Jr. has started Simon Says Publishing or some big Simon Publishing, stealing money from him as we talk, trying to collect royalties owed to Suge from Tupac and all kind of other shit. And Reggie then sent it out. Remember Reggie said that? Let me go ahead and put this on real quick. Let's get into this Delray Richardson. Hit that like button, man. We in here cooking for y'all.
West Coast legend, one half of the Dog Pound, Daz Dillinger, right? And in those interviews, or should say in that interview, Daz had talked about the situation involving
No, bro, that's what these gatekeepers is. Wackoon 100 CS2 back, he's a house nigga. They break these dudes who are opportunists and capitalists and selfish, specifically narcissistic niggas that they empower them and keep those dudes as gatekeepers, right? And Reggie is the coldest house nigga, bro. Imagine the slave waiting for their stuff and they know they burn it down. Reggie is the house nigga that tells the peoples, look, y'all might as well stay here. A massa be a good boss, massa be healthy, and he even lets us go worship our God once a week. Y'all talking about leaving. Where you going, boy? You ain't gonna be able to find better than this. This is what Reggie, Whack 100, Charleston White, these are the type of roles that these niggas are playing. They're the house niggas. And Reggie's the coldest one. You can't get love from the West Coast when the last time we had the machine for more than one big artist off the West Coast, it was through Death Row Records and its distribution with Interscope. You helped destroy that structure. You helped the slave masters in the sheets, the local marshals and deputies, the lawyers, make sure they ensure free labor for another season, another year. You empowered that as long as they gave you good crumbs off their table when you cooked inside that house, when you made tea inside that house. LA was with Ray J with the rope. Hold on, let's go.
Why he sued Suge Knight and so on and so forth, right? And so Reggie Wright Jr. made a feeble attempt once again to try to overshadow the truth with his blatant outright lies. And I'm going to show you where that is, and you understand what I'm about to tell you. You're going to understand, like you're going to say, okay, I get it now. So Reggie Wright Jr. Made an attempt to say that somehow, some way now, that Snoop had just, and Harry O just bought Death Row. Somehow, some way, by the video that me and Daz had just did, we made an admission that's going to somehow get him paid from a publishing company that he alleges that he owned, right? What I'm here to tell you today, ladies and gentlemen, Reggie Wright does not own Simon Says Publishing. And I want you to understand this. He said up until this point,
Teddy Riley, okay, Teddy Riley is still fucking with Suge. That is Julian Culpepper's agent, Toy Lynn Kelly. I guess that's illegal.
He's not been paid $1 from this publishing company. I don't know all of the other intricacies of his alleged theft. Like I said, but I'm going to deal with this publishing situation. So all of the time that Wide Awake owned Death Row, that E1 owned Death Row, Reggie Wright, by his own admission, admits that he was never paid through this so-called Simon Says Publishing, correct? By his own admission in this video. Now, but all of a sudden, we come out, myself and Daz, and I conduct an interview with him. And now he alleges that somehow by what we said, and Daz telling the truth about Reggie setting up bogus publishing companies in regards to Daz's music and so on and so forth, that now he's about to get paid. He didn't get paid from E1. He didn't get paid from Wide Awake, right? But now that Snoop owns it, he's about to get paid. Let me tell you why that's a lie. First and foremost, Daz said in the video with me, basically, that when he sued Suge Knight, right, and he explained, and I had asked him, to explain why he did that, right?
Like, I'm the only one out of Death Row Records that sued Suge Knight. Everybody else didn't sue him. So when I sued him, all my contracts was voided.
And hold on, Daz. So now, when you say when you sued him, all your contracts was voided, explain that. So why did you sue him? Why did you sue Suge Knight? What spawned your lawsuit when you first sued him? What made you say, yo, I got to file a lawsuit?
To get out of the contracts, royalties, and just all the default shit that they was getting into. You know what I'm saying? The people that I had, So
Daz explained that he sued Suge for his royalties, for all of the other things that he felt like that was had gone wrong, and the things that weren't being honored in reference to his contract, right? And so he sued Suge. And so in suing Suge, with involving his original contract, anything that's derived from that contract, any agreement that's associated or based on that original agreement, right, would be voided out. And you say, why? Because Daz won that lawsuit based on the fact that Suge Knight did not show up for court. That is called, ladies and gentlemen, a default judgment, right? And through that default judgment, right, Daz would now, all of the contracts or any contract in relation to Daz would have been voided out. He won the case. Nobody showed up to basically try to defend the other side.
Hey, look, IG live content say, Deuce, want to entertain the audience with the Crip cop getting knocked out the other day? Send the video. I was looking, I got articles on it. First round knockout. The Crip cop, he come back flashing all of his money. He then took the dive in Europe to a Ukrainian, I think a Ukrainian mountaineer, nigga, a Viking, nigga. That nigga Boo Bop Fat Boy, a Love Boys. a Christopher Loves Boys. Down bad. Hey, put the link in the chat, IG live content. We seen them get beat up already before, the gut shot. Then the other one did the cartwheels and knocked him out. Every fight this nigga that had outside of Mexico, he done lost. Daz got paid now. Snoop gave them all the masters, so now it's endless money for him. Hey, where it's at? IG live content? Or maybe he posted it on, maybe that's on Instagram. My bad. Somebody said, did Wack get Pooh Rider knocked off? Damn, nigga, they going in. Hold on. Let's see what they talking about. Yeah, I don't see the post. Where your post at, bro? You say you got the link of the video? Where's the link to the video? Put it in the chat. We'll show it next. Can somebody go to just posted it and grab that? Somebody, one of the Blue Wrench Mob, and put that in the chat. Let's get back to Delroy. So Daz sued Suge, and this nigga Reggie is trying to steal Suge's publishing. Simon says, saying he owns it.
Which would have been Death Row or Suge Knight, right? So now, the alleged agreement that Reggie Wright says that he owns and controls, that he has not shown us. He said a lot about it. Shows a lot of other stuff in regards to what people have alleged and got going on in their life. But he has not shown us the paperwork in regards to this Simon Says Publishing. The reason why is because his name's not on it. He doesn't own it. Because if he did, he would show it to us, which he hasn't. Therefore, you know, as well as I know, that if E1 didn't pay him based on that, by his own admission, and Wide Awake didn't pay him on that, by his own admission, the contract has been voided out. And that's why he can't get any income from this alleged publishing company that he says that he owns, based on the default judgment that Daz received in dealing with Suge. Period. Reggie Wright Jr. once again has lied to you about that. If he's not lying, he would show us the agreement. If he's not lying, he could show us the information that he's talking about, because if I own a publishing company and there's this documentation, don't you think that you would have that somewhere filed away in a file cabinet somewhere so that you can produce this information, right? Produce that information. Remember, I said I had proof that Daz was telling the truth in regards to the malfeasance and the fraud that was going on in the bankruptcy case? Check this out. In its June 2006 motion to appoint a Chapter 11 trustee, the United States trustee cited compelling evidence why Suge Knight should be removed from management control over Death Row. Recall that Knight was jailed several times between 1996 and 2004 and could not have effectively managed Death Row in his absence. While this occurred pre-petition, Knight acknowledged during the initial Deputy's 341A hearing in May that he had not reviewed financial statements for Death Row in over a decade. Further, a significant number of Death Row's creditors are judgment creditors, including Miss Harris, Lydia Harris, and the IRS. The U.S. trustee also alleged undisclosed insider payments by Death Row to Knight and omissions of false statements in the bankruptcy petition schedules. I'm going to say that again. The U.S. trustee also alleged undisclosed insider payments by Death Row to Knight and omissions and false statements in the bankruptcy petition schedules. That means that when they file the schedules to the court, to the bankruptcy, and the things that they admitted into court, the trustee basically found out that they were lying. And they were leaving out stuff and making payments to Suge Knight that shouldn't have been paid, and they didn't reveal everything in regards to the bankruptcy. Listen to me, y'all. Given that Suge Knight is the sole owner, officer, and director with any authority at Death Row, not Reggie Wright Jr., so he wouldn't be sued for his house if the trustee found out anything, because he was not part of the Death Row and even admitted that he had put himself on as a creditor in the bankruptcy. You understand what I'm saying? He said he put himself on as a creditor in the bankruptcy. It had nothing to do with Reggie, and they wouldn't be trying to take his house in regards to the trustee finding anything nefarious going on in regards to Death Row. He did not have that much involvement. He was not that important to this case. So I'm going to start it off again. Given that Suge Knight is the sole owner, officer, director with any authority at Death Row, and in the light of evidence pointing to his financial mismanagement, dishonesty, and past failure to comply with court orders, Judge Carroll, not Daz Dillinger, not Delray, Judge Carroll signed the order to appoint a trustee on July 7th, 2006. Trustee Todd Nielsen, appointed on July 19th, is now the de facto CEO of Death Row, responsible for the management of its property for the benefit of its creditors, meaning all of the stuff would be sold, as we've seen, the masters, the property, and everything else involving that, right? And he was also in charge of the operations of the business and, if appropriate, filing a plan of reorganization. This last part really helps you understand and brings it home. Listen, the value of Death Row's assets have not been adequately determined, but are shadowed by its $100 million plus debts Should Mr. Nielsen determine that rehabilitation is simply not feasible, Suge Knight's effort to save his company from receivership by entering bankruptcy may be worthless. And that proved to be the point, as we see now Snoop now and Harry O now own Death Row Records. How ironic. Hard to imagine 15 years ago that Death Row, the center of gangster rap, the center of the gangster rap revolution, would one day be run by an accountant. Y'all see what I'm saying? Let me get into this. Now, number 2. This is funny. Reggie Wright made a feeble attempt, right? So he's lying about number 1. Number 2, he made a feeble attempt to show a documentation involving a chapter 13 plan that I had filed for in dealing with my business, right?
We're not gonna get into Del Rey business thing. I just really wanted to show how they did that. We do got a short video of the Crip Cop. He got knocked out in the first round. I want to go through that real quick, and then we can get back to Pork Butt. Christopher Lovejoy, aka 600, gets knocked out. No hand. Swimming. Big slow niggas swimming. Oh, knocked him. What a right. Oh my God. 2, 3. Oh, we gotta watch that again. Look at that slow swimming. Now wonder blood didn't pull up on Big U for the thing. Nigga put his head down and got knocked out. Hey, y'all, did you just see? Oh, y'all couldn't see it. My bad. Oh, man, my bad. Twice I did y'all like that. Let's get it back started. Let's go. Look at this nigga swimming. Yeah, this the one. This is why he got all the money. He went over there and got knocked out by Ukraine. Down goes Flatty. One more time. That nigga thought he was Michael Phelps. That's why they call him Pork Butt. 6 sleep. One more time, man. Yeah, his mechanics is horrible. Yeah, that's nasty work, man. That nigga better not never talk about Yael no more, nigga. That nigga was one of the main niggas talking shit to Yael after they came with that unsolicited play they ran on what was that shit? A reality TV show. But it wasn't reality. These niggas lined the nigga up and ran a play. And you said a whole bunch of shit talking about this nigga swimming. He didn't get knocked out. In fact, He took off on the nigga, was scrapping. Nigga squabbling up. And this just on the one y'all released. Was squabbling up. Nigga, but you on here swimming and got knocked out. Mountain.
I can't believe this nigga just went out like that, bro. And he be talking all that training, bro. You do all that training for your chin to be, bro. You have no squabble.
Ass up knockout is crazy. Left hook was nasty. No, he got knocked out with a right, bro. Let's get back to this real quick, though, man. We got the content, man. You know what I'm saying? We got the content. And then we, yeah, this is the last one, and then we're going to get up out of here. Let's get to this real quick, man. You know, I hope everybody enjoying themselves. Hit that like button. You gotta go eat dinner.
Why don't you come over to the house tomorrow? We're going to take the boat and jet skis and go out to Lake Mead and, you know, go jet skiing and stuff like that, right? I told Suge, I said, I'm halfway home. I said, I'm you know, just about back home. And he was like, oh, okay, you know. And then that was the end of it. Now, what was his motive for wanting to tell me to come to Lake Mead? Let's go get on the jet skis and, you know, go boating and stuff like this.
Listen to what Pork
you know, it could have been another headline. Frank Alexander dies in Lake Mead from boating accident or jet ski accident, something like that.
Listen, Frank Alexander tell you he was invited.
I know that you're upset. You know, we're all upset. You know, why don't you come over to the house tomorrow? We're going to take the boat and jet skis and go out to Lake Mead and, you know, go jet skiing and stuff like that, right? I told Suge, I said, I'm halfway home. I said, I'm you know, just about back home. And he was like, oh, okay, you know. And then that was the end of it. Now, what was his motive for wanting to tell me to come to Lake Mead? Let's go get on the jet skis and, you know, go boating and stuff like this. Well, you know, it could have been another headline. Frank Alexander dies in Lake Mead from boating accident or jet ski accident, something like that.
That nigga said Yael got hand. He said he has no boxing skill set. Nigga, that's why the nigga didn't pull up when Yael called him out for the fade. In the trying to jump y'all fight, y'all stung that nigga and dude tried to get up out of there. He. Yeah, he would have been drowned. Pork Boy had a hand in the unaliving of Frank Alexander. Part 3, yeah. I remember Frank telling this story about Suge. Yeah, but Yael called that bitch ass nigga out. He knew he be swimming like Michael Phelps. He knew that he ain't got no heart. That's why he never pulled back up on Big U. The nigga's a buster. Hey, 600. How you let that white boy knock you out like that, bro?
You know, this what y'all forget. This what y'all forget to realize. You know, I went swimming for the bag. I took the dive and dived right in to swimming. Damu Kiwe conversation. Big goofy ass nigga.
Dumb ass nigga. That nigga's a buster, nigga. That nigga did not want to pull up on you. I see why, nigga. I see why, nigga. That nigga didn't stand a chance. Big ass, big for nothing ass nigga. Yeah, that nigga. I at first I said if he get to grab Yael, nigga, it might be over. Now I think about this nigga ain't got no heart. He has no squaring off skills, nigga. That nigga is, bro. He didn't stand a chance,
bro. Listen, dudes. This nigga be doing all that. You know, I did 600 push-ups today. Did 600 burpees.
I ate 600 pounds.
Burpees can't teach a nigga how to scrap, my nigga.
I did 600 pounds of I ate 600 pounds of ribeye steak, tomahawk. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, all that protein and that 10 hit that bing, bing, bing. Bro, no Zerskis. You have Nathan. Your name should be Nathan because you have Nathan when it comes to hands, my nigga.
Nasty work, man.
All bad.
Let's get back to the video. All bad. Hey, Yael, see, every dog has his day. This was the opportunity to laugh at the Crip Cop.
We're laughing at you.
He said that nigga made a whipped cream.
For a short period of time, in the wake of the Shakur and Wallace killings, it looked like Death Row Records was living up to the hype about being untouchable. It had helped create a narrative being fed to the Vegas police, and at the same time, it was misdirecting Vegas away from interviewing key Death Row employee witnesses who were there on the night of the shooting. It had broken ties with any bodyguard who had personally interacted with Shakur for plausible deniability in any negligence investigation, and now they were aligned with a silenced Los Angeles Police Department. But there was one detective that had already been exposed to cops who were not who they said they were. So when Reggie tried to work the same friendly informant routine that he had with other departments, this guy wasn't having any of it. He actually drew a connection between that veneer and possible involvement in the Wallace homicide. His name was Russell Poole.
Soon as I took over the Biggie case, immediately start seeing connections between corrupt LAPD officers and the Death Row organization. Some guys were working for Reggie Wright Jr., but what I was more concerned about was that we had our cops hanging out with drug dealing felons.
Unlike shows that have shown Russ to be a lone wolf, it wasn't like that at all. He wasn't obsessed with wall-mounted items, you know, showing how obsessed he was with a case. There was nothing like that. Russ was a family guy. You know, he loved his children.
There are two individuals, or actually three individuals, who speak about Russ Poole and his specific investigation of the murder of Biggie. And one is a guy by the name of Sergio Robledo, who you could make a case might be one of the most respected LAPD homicide investigators to ever walk the earth. And he loved Russ Poole. He said Russ Poole's work was impeccable, and Russ was right.
Russell was a family man, and he was a devoted detective. He was committed to finding the truth the way he felt that he would want on any case relating to anybody in his family.
He was very, very dedicated, and I don't care who the victim was, that Russ was going to find out who did it.
You know, the kind of work he did took him away a lot. But when he was home, and very much was, you know, a family guy.
He was already a detective. His normal shift, you know, Monday through Friday. A lot of times he would come home at night, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. We got into the riots in '92. There was a point, I think he had already been on shift for a while, got home. I think, I don't know, my mom said he even had a couple of beers already, and he got called right back in and was gone for at least 48 hours, you know, because they were all on tactical alert. And this stuff was happening in that South Bureau homicide area where he worked, so they had to make sense of, you know, any, because I know murders were still happening during the riots in that area.
Russ and I met at the South Bureau homicide, and when I came, he was already there when I got there.
And he was working as hard and as much as they were. There was a period of time where one year they had an extra amount of homicides.
It was just record-breaking. I mean, Newton homicide in 1 year, You're talking about a 2 or 3 square mile division that had 125 murders in 1 year. It was unheard of.
In the first year that I was there, they had 429 murders of young people, which is an alarming amount by anybody's standard. Certainly today, the whole city don't have that many.
Working South Bureau homicide when Russ Poole was there and I was there, it was a record break. I had 325 murders in 1 year. I mean, you were never home.
So we had approximately 21 teams of homicide investigators, 22, 23 teams, and Russ was in one of them.
I didn't know Sergio to start with. I know he was the lieutenant and the head of South Bureau Homicide, their unit, and Russ would talk about him and tell him what a wonderful man he was, and very experienced, and knew his stuff, and he could go to him about anything.
I understand perspective on this, okay?
No.
We need to get to the truth on who assaulted him, and I want you to tell me the truth.
Right.
What Hewitt told you and what other officers have told you.
Russ was the type of individual that would get there before work. I know that sometimes when I had spent the night working on other murders, and he would be coming in for his tour, he would be there early, make sure that he chatted with everyone. He had to know what was going on. He was conversing with the senior detectives that were there, other detectives, and also working on his own cases.
If and when somebody gets booked for this assault on this guy, we're going to be going to court, and some people are going to be testifying in a court of law, okay? And perjury is a very serious thing to me. I would never lie.
We had this whole conversation.
Okay.
My partner was in the military reserve and was gone when I got there. So I picked up the cases he had, and so I had to get whoever to go out with me or do things. I had to find whoever wasn't doing anything, and so a lot of times the Ruffs would be there after hours and ask me to go with me, and we ended up actually handling a couple of homicides together.
He got promoted, went to Wilshire Division. It was a lot slower than he was used to in his South Bureau Division when dealing with homicides. So I think he went back to South Bureau Homicide briefly, then he was promoted to the Robbery Homicide Division. At that point, I know he was always talking about things just because, it was stuff that everybody would see on the news that he was involved with.
And I liked to work with him because he was basically the kind of person I like to work with. This is straightforward, straight up there, no nonsense.
Well, when I met him, he was just a really nice guy. Really nice guy, fun-loving guy. We seemed to both of us like sports. We like music. And so one of the first dates he had taken me on was a Beach Boys concert. And that was a lot of fun. And we just loved doing that. We just, before we actually, I don't even know if you call it a real date. At that time, we just liked doing things together.
Russ was a type of individual that was absolutely tenacious and
well, like I say, do what you want to do. You keep on doing the good work out there, and keep on doing what you're doing. Okay, you make your own decisions. You're grown up. Okay, you make your own decisions. You can take our advice or not. It's up to you.
No, I know everything else.
This concludes this interview. It's 19-25 hours.
That's what they say, Junior.
He had been in homicide quite some time, and so he would solve murders that were old murders, and then he'd solve new ones.
I was interested in somebody else, so I thought, and he came to, it was a guy in a band, and he came to the show with a friend, came to the show and told me that, how he felt about me. And I just said, well, I don't think I can, I don't think I feel the same way.
That was a time when we would go to crime scenes and we'd be getting shot at the crime scene while investigating the crime. So it was a very different world.
And I could see the look on his face, and I thought about it and thought about it, and he had so much more to offer. But then I thought I would lose my best friend. I mean, it was like a best friend. I thought I would lose my friend if we started dating. That wouldn't work out. You know, you can't do both. And little did I know.
He liked to consider himself a crime scene specialist that would really be able to understand absent witnesses, absent anything, what truly could have happened. It's more of a science at that point, and it was something.
You solved a murder case, not for you, not for LAPD, but for the family of the victim, no matter who they were. The family had a right to know what happened to their child, sister, brother, mother, father, whoever. They had the right to know what happened. And Russ was always very good about staying in contact with families all the way through the court system, if there was fortunately an arrest and what have you, all the way through.
You know, I know later on in his life, when he left the LAPD, he sort of was tracking down and also investigating the murder of Tupac along with the murder of Biggie. And I think Russ, say what you want, had a inherent gene within him that he wanted to solve murders for families, right? That's what he did his whole career, right? He solved murders for family members who were murdered.
Every bit of it, he could not get enough of it. It was intense. It was it certainly would draw everything out of the best out of it.
My personal experience with Russ is that he didn't come to conclusions unless he had evidence. And I mean evidence, not just rumor. He didn't do that. He wasn't that type of a detective. He wasn't going to, come and say somebody did this unless he had information from somebody or witness information or some kind of physical evidence that would tell him that.
In an interview room that should have been taken care of that night, and it didn't. Now it's turned into a criminal investigation. Could have been handled, but that's what internally, and that's what you're missing. You're part of being a cover-up of a beating. You were told the next day by your informant of what occurred, and nothing. You didn't. Did you go to a supervisor and say, "Hey, my informant tells me that you would beat the shit out"? I told him exactly what he told me. Yeah, but did you tell him your opinion? Hey, my informant, I think he would beat the shit out of me. Did I tell him? How can you know? If I'm telling you something like that's what I'm saying. It's reached this far. It's happened in February. Look where how is it occurred?
Russ was out there. I mean, Russ, what you saw was what you got. And Russ was, when anybody met him, a nice guy, shake your hand and hello, nice to meet you. And everybody knew Russ. Anywhere we went, he'd run into somebody that knew him from somewhere, you know. He was always, he never had a hard time talking to anybody. Me, I was more shy. I wasn't that outgoing or whatever. But, oh yeah, him, he'd just go up and just meet somebody, no matter who they were. He'd say, they're just people. I go, don't you get nervous around, like Sylvester Stallone or whatever. Because, no, they're just people.
Russell's involvement in the Biggie case had more to do that he was given, he was there in the initial part, and then he was given to do some interviews on an unrelated case, which is the Perez case, and he ended up getting involved in interviews that he thought connected the two things.
He did the Liga Gaines shooting, he was on Biggie, and he was doing Rampart all at the same time.
There were some excessive uses of force that were alleged during the Rafael Perez case. And Russ was asked to go and help the Rampart team investigate some of those excessive uses of force.
I don't think he was an inmate, just a detainee that got beaten in the Rampart station by these two cops that denied it.
And during that time, he found information on Rafael Perez and other people that were involved in that whole mess that he felt related to the case that he had been on earlier, which was the Biggie Smalls case.
It was at that time where also showed that he did start getting a frustration with his co-workers, his peers at Robbery Homicide, because they just treated it as, you know, oh, they were the top guys. They could do whatever they want whenever they wanted when it came to actually doing work. A lot of them spent time on the golf course, you know, during work hours, things like that. He was not down with that at all.
According to Russell, he was concerned that he had become the object of trying to protect the Perez and Max and those kind of people from being investigated thoroughly. And he felt that he now had become the object of the anger of trying to keep him from looking at those things.
When he got into like Rafael Perez and David Mack, you know, they're connected to death row also, and then everything he was finding, and there was 40 pages of a report that they edited down to 2 pages and just kind of like put it to the side. So his work was not an official record. It was this 2-page report. And he said, you know, it was from there I could tell he was getting frustrated, and this was still in 97.
And he was accustomed to investigating things to as far as he wanted to go. And so when somebody blocked him, that really caused him problems.
But, you know, had we been able to aggressively investigate and had the heart to connect the two and do a thorough investigation, I think we probably would have found out more information.
Well, there had been over 20 officers that were working at death row off and on. Some of them came from Compton PD, some of them came from Long Beach PD, some of them came from other law enforcement organizations, including LAPD. So people worked off duty. Cops working in the entertainment industry is historical.
I think the fact that law enforcement officers were working for death row, and that was a scandal in itself, okay?
There were 2 levels of security that were involved in any of these things. One was the gangs themselves would bring their groupies and their little gang entourage there that would act as bodyguards. And then there were civilian bodyguards, and then there were rent-a policeman type situations. And so what happened at the El Rey in that particular case, several of the death row bodyguards were involved in beating up
looking out, Kelly Trey,
Top Pyrus and other gang members were involved in beating up an individual who was from the opposing gangs, the Crips versus the Bloods situation. They ended up killing the guy, and there were several security people. And to this day, I wonder what the heck the homicide detectives.
That was supposed to be at Club El Rey. You know what I'm saying? The dude got beat so bad the coroner couldn't identify one cause of death. And then the crazy shit is Detective Russell Poole said he interviewed some of the witnesses. They say they hear the death row niggas say, "Get the fuck out of here. We finna kill this nigga." At a show at the El Rey, bro. And they saying that David Mack or Rafael Perez or some of these death row police officers, security officers who were police officers, were there for that murder. That's what Russell Poole said.
Or the supervisors of that division, why they didn't investigate that properly and to a full extent. And that causes concern. That's misconduct to me.
The fact that law enforcement officers were working for gangsters, known felons, basically organized crime, because it was no secret that Death Row Records was involved in drug trafficking.
Phil Carson, as an FBI agent, signed Russ Poole up as a confidential source and a confidential informant in the course of his investigation. And Phil Carson has said over and over, Russ Poole was on the right path. Russ Poole was right.
He talked to me about the Tupac thing and he was really concerned because of the investigation and where it was going, and he was getting stonewalled. And I had told him that, you need to be careful the way, don't push it too much because you're going to get blackballed.
Oh, I know he was investigating the missing cocaine out of the evidence locker. Found out who did it. He investigated it, opened a big can of worms. And when certain players, and he got all the players involved, had reported his information to the chief of police, and he was told to turn over all his evidence, all his paperwork, everything, all his files, all his discs, everything to the police. He wanted him to stop investigating right then and there.
And he told me that he was certainly disenfranchised with the fact that he felt that it was not handled the way it should have been handled, and that his reports were rewritten, not to his satisfaction.
Basically just shut him down and shut him down. He was crushed. He was, but after being taken off Biggie, the Wallace case, and then having this taken from him, he was, he didn't understand it. He was crushed. He goes, everything he learned was, you get the case, the murder, the body. You go and investigate it. You follow through everything from minute one all the way through court, if you're fortunate enough to make an arrest. And you follow it from A to Z, and then it's done. That's the way he learned. That's the way he was trained. You follow through everything. You follow leads. You don't leave any stone unturned. Even if it doesn't seem important, it could be, and he knew that.
He was a man of honor, integrity. If you look at his, past history within the LAPD, it was stellar. You don't end up in LAPD robbery homicide because you're not a good investigator and you don't have your shit together.
It really is, but he would investigate it and thoroughly. And he just didn't understand. I don't think he comprehended why they took that from him. He did the work and it's taken from him again.
Then ultimately, when he brought up to the chief that there's a bunch of vigilante cops,
cover up in history, fact.
Especially in Rampart Division, cops had to have been involved with the killing of Biggie. Just because of the connection of all those officers with death row records, and just being told, no, don't investigate them by the chief of police. And then turns out he's linked to these guys too, personally, like his personal life. So
I was upstairs in the bedroom. I don't know if I was getting ready. I don't know what I was doing up there at the time. Doesn't matter. He came home from work. It was early evening. And he comes in, he's, taking his badge off. He's taking everything, puts it on top of his chest of drawers. And he looks at me and goes, you know what? He goes, I think I'm going to quit my job. And I said, what? He goes, I'm going to quit. He goes, I can't, I can't do this. He goes, I can't work like that. He goes, I can't do this. He said, there's something wrong here, and that's not what I signed up for.
Russ Poole was never allowed to actually do his fucking job.
Say you have knowledge of something and you have verification that this knowledge is truthful, it's good, you know what it is, but no one will listen to you and no one will act on it. And you're the kind of person that say, I have absolute video evidence that this guy's a bank robber, and I have him doing the bank robbery, and I have him identified, but nobody will let you arrest him. And so you're looking at it like, wait a minute, I know this guy's a bank robber, but nobody wants me to arrest him. Why? Why can't I go arrest him and solve the crimes? And it can be very frustrating when you're the kind of person that, you need to have for lack of a better term, closure on your investigation.
Hey, Cameron, text me all of those.
He
We
said,
gonna go
I
break them all
worked my
down
butt
because all
off.
of those is
Everything's
huge
taken away
cover
from
up.
me. And he said, I just don't understand it. And he goes, I just can't work that way. And I go, well, Russ, you can't quit. I said, how about go to another division, take a desk job for a while, or take some time off. Just take your vacation time or whatever, and just think about this, and before you do anything.
I told Russ, you gotta be careful. And then, but Russ, knowing him, I knew he couldn't just let it go.
He had a year and a half to go before he would get his pension. I said, there's got to be something else you can do. I said, any other division would love to have you. I said, you love patrol, and he didn't really say anything. He just kind of, the next thing I knew, he sent the letter in. I know he had talked to people in the meantime. I know he may have talked to Sergio for all I know. I know he talked to his dad. But I mean, I understood it, but I was scared to death. Well, what were we going to do? Yeah, we got 3 kids to support. I can't support them on my pay. and so it was a really tough time.
All these people they kind of brush it off because they think he's, I don't know, making it up. He's a whistleblower. These guys are sensational. I don't think so. He had evidence and he needed to follow up on a lot of things and was not allowed to. And so when you're in a position and the chief of police tells you you can't do something, you just can't do it while you're still in the department. So eventually when he left, he was able to do whatever he wanted, and he could continue trying to at least investigate what he could when he was no longer with the department.
Russ Poole's legacy should be a legacy of truth. So anyone that wants to go on social media and say Russ Poole at the end of his career lost his way, Russ Poole did this, Russ Poole did that, you know what? You need to take a walk off a fucking short pier, because all Russ Poole did was good police work.
He was very, very dedicated, and I don't care who the victim was. Russ was going to find out who did it. And that's the way I felt about it, is that I don't care who you are, no one has the right to kill you.
Going back to Russ, when he brought me all of it, when he told me about the show and everything else, I told him, I love you dearly. Show me the money. Show me the facts. So I traveled. I went and read 43 books during the course of the next week and a half. And I became convinced that the essence of his concerns were appropriate. I don't care what Russ said. I have to believe what Russ said. Now that I have verified it with some documentation. And that's really important to his credibility with me. And my credibility with the science of looking for facts. It's everything.
But Russ Poole, he was solid. And because he was wronged, I think he had like 18 years in. Yeah. And what he went through and what LAPD did to him was horrible. Yeah. One of the hills that I will always stand on is when I hear people like Reggie Jr. or Greg Kading that just go after Russ and try to make up these false narratives about him, and Russ isn't here to kind of protect himself or back himself. I'll be there to protect his name, because he was a good man, he was a great detective, and he was wronged by LAPD.
I don't think so. Zero required. But look, we're gonna stop it there.
So what this looks like to me,
we're going in tomorrow. We're gonna get up out of here. It's late. I gotta eat. I gotta spend some time with Maria. You know what I'm saying? Salute to everybody. Hey, I told y'all we got the content. Go subscribe. I'm gonna put the link in this description, and I'm gonna post it to my community. Steffi Weffy, salute. The fact they know these things is crazy. I'm gonna put that for the Patreon, part 2 and part 3 of the interview with this woman who's fingering Reggie Wright Jr. will only be got on Patreon. We're not going to lose our channel for that. If you want the content, we got the content. Thank y'all for coming and support Damu Kiwe Conversations. Look, man, we shadow ban, turn on those notifications so you can help support us so we can keep these numbers going. Let's go.